Stay cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Have you recently inherited money? I'm Patrick Hart, certified financial planner professional at Concierge Capital Management. Make the most of your inheritance by taking charge of your financial future. At Concierge Capital, we'll work with you to create a tailored plan that is designed to keep your inheritance in your family. So plan with your heart. Trust Concierge Capital. Offices in Jacksonville and Boca Raton.
Registered representative. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representative. Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor. Concierge Capital Management, LLC, and Cambridge are not affiliated.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Now at Hodges Mazda, for those who never stop refining, lease a new 2023 Mazda 3 sedan during the Season of Discovery sales event for only $329 a month. The Mazda 3 enables you to enjoy a new form of indulgence. Lauren Brooks here. All vehicle purchases come with 2 years free maintenance, which I love. The sales staff works on salary, not commission, allowing Hodges Mazda to put your best interests first. That is the Hodges Mazda difference. Visit Hodges Mazda today or online at hodgesmazda.com. See dealer for details. $3,499 due at lease signing. Terms and fees for qualified lessees. 36-month lease expires September 5th, 2023.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Trinity Christian quarterback Colin Hurley was an in-studio guest of XL Primetime. He shared his thoughts on the upcoming season as the quarterback for the Conquerors.
Very excited. It's my last season with Coach Dorminey, so I'm going to go out there, lay it all on the field with my team. We've been putting in a lot of work in the summer, so I'm just super excited to go out there and go finally play against someone else other than my teammates. I'm just super excited. It's my senior year, so I'm going to go out there and just have fun.
Trinity Christian quarterback Colin Hurley, a guest of XL Primetime. The 2024 star quarterback is committed to LSU. The Conquerors kick off their season next Friday night at home against Ed White. It's 92 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I am feeling a tremendous amount of emotion just oozing through the headset. I feel it out of Springfield right now. I have a feeling that there's a lot of good stuff going on there. And if it's bad, it's good, right? Isn't that what the young kids say? Bad is good. A dog is a player, right? A player is a dog. And no other place I'd rather be outside of Springfield, right there on Main Street, than here. Hogan Road. Beautiful studios. 1010XL. 92.5 FM. All right, we got a lot to do tonight. It's going to be I think, a tremendous show. Despite my reputation as some guy who would mail it in on a Friday, I totally want to disagree with that point of view. I'm prepared, both emotionally and mentally and physically, after just a really odd day. Learned a lot about myself, as I just explained with Lauren and Hayes. Really embarrassed myself earlier not being able to find this golf course. But, hey, life goes on, and you learn from it. From here on out, I'm going to leave 3 hours before my tee time and to spend the rest of the time in my beautiful Key GMC Sierra listening to whoever is on 1010XL or 92.5 FM. None of this practice stuff, none of this range stuff, especially in sub-90-degree temperature the way it was today. But I will never complain about the heat. That's why I left Boston. That's why I came here to North Florida. Unfortunately, a guy who's not coming to Duval is Jadeveon Clowney. He is on his way to Baltimore. He's going to join Justin Houston. Houston signed about, 2-3 weeks or so ago, 1 year, $7 million deal. Baltimore, who's clearly going for it. You know, where would you rank Baltimore? If I was doing power rankings, which I never do, I'd put Baltimore in the top 10. I'd probably have them right now as the 5th best team in the AFC. Is that fair? Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Baltimore. Does that make sense, right?
Maybe the Jets.
The Jets, well, hey, maybe. Now that they've got brother Dalvin, they've got brother Aaron. Aaron's taking less. He can barely eat. $23 million a year. They're raving about Robert Saleh. And, you know, he was the linebackers coach at one point here. He never said a word. Then again, a lot of assistant coaches don't say anything. Doug Marrone, the couple of years that he was here under Gus Bradley, he never said a word. And then when he was appointed interim head coach and became the head coach, he never stopped talking. So maybe it's about understanding your role. You know, stay in your lane, know your role. And that's an example of it. Apparently, they really like Robert Saleh. I'm told he's a total gearhead as well. And I'm not talking about, open-wheel driving or you're on the brickyard or, the big machines. I'm talking about a total gearhead when it comes to fine equipment in the sport of golf. He's got everything from the latest heads to the latest grips and the graphite, shafts and just you name it. He's a guy that'll be affected if they roll back that ball. He's a guy, there's not a lot of head coaches around the NFL that are going to be affected by this. Robert Saleh with it. If you say, listen, we need to check your driver and make sure it's legit, as I think we're going to see this type of stuff happen come maybe as early as 2025 on the PGA Tour. Certainly they're rolling back the ball, but you go back to what Adam Scott said, 6 weeks or so ago, about how the driver used to be the most dangerous club in your bag. People are petrified. We're petrified to hit the driver, right? Because you have no idea where it's going. Nowadays, it's like, yeah, give me my driver. The way they've built them, it's become, according to Adam Scott, one of the easiest clubs in your bag to hit. And I'll tell you what, one of our sponsors here at Edwin Watts, I went and got fit for my clubs a few months ago. I got some beautiful Mizuno irons, okay, but I got the Ping driver in 3. And I got with my buddy Aaron, who set me up the Phillips location, Phillips Highway, right next to another one of our fine sponsors over there with Richard Miller and the Showtime Sports Cards, which is just phenomenal, okay? As a longtime sports card collector, I don't buy any of the new stuff, but I'm an old school collector. And every once in a while I like to go in there and, maybe buy an old box from like 89, 90, something like that, because they sell them in the corner. They're like $15
for like the whole box.
The entire
a random year like that.
The entire series. So here's what you do, and here's what I've been known to do when I get the itch. Let's say the girlfriend's out of town, or let's say the girlfriend's downstairs watching Hallmark. Okay, I'll go upstairs to the bar. I'll put on 3 games. I'll pour myself 2, maybe 3 fingers worth of Tullamore Dew. I will break that box of 1989 Topps, and I will go through each and every card, and the ones that are Hall of Famers or mean something to me, I will insert into the plastic book. And instead of being a middle-aged 50-year-old man, I feel like I'm an 8-year-old kid outside of the Tullamore Dew.
It's almost like you're cheating on your girl or something. You have to do it in the basement real quiet so she doesn't hear you open the box.
By all means, make it a girl's trip. I want to buy some baseball cards.
Yeah, some people have really bad vices.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's Sunbeam in Phillips, I believe. But anyway, two of our good sponsors, our radio station sponsors, Showtime and Edwin Watts. So I go in there and get measured, and he's like, you can have a little less distance, but your accuracy is going to improve. And sure enough, I got this brand new Ping, and I barely swing the club off the tee, and I'm just like hitting fairway after fairway after fairway. Anyway, got off on kind of a golf tangent here. Let's get back to what is most important, the conversation on Jadeveon Clowney. He only had 2 sacks a year ago, okay? We're aware of that. He is on the cusp of turning 30 years of age. And I do think it's fair right now, as a Jaguars fan, to absolutely support and respect the decisions that have been made by this organization the last couple of years. Again, how they got there was, well, honestly, it was classic Jacksonville, right? But that's gone now. I mean, honestly, there's like less than 5% of you who actually do remember that Doug, it was Jim Caldwell and Doug Peterson who came in. Then they let like 5 weeks go by before they brought Peterson back. And you had all this talk that Bulky and Peterson, Peterson's not a bulky guy, hired him anyway. Then all of a sudden it's absolutely Shad Khan telling us that someone else is going to get hired that Trent Bulky will report to, right? That all of a sudden the relationship between Peterson and Bulky is so good, it's so strong, that we're going to eliminate that. That search is over, okay? There will be no one that Trent Bulky is going to have to report to. And if you look at what Trent Bulky has done, his draft of a year ago, his free agency class of a year ago, it really worked. Now, all of a sudden, this year, the draft class, it appears it's going to work. It does feel like free agency this past year has really been subpar and maybe even a miss. Now, the Calvin Ridley situation was a trade. I think he had a good draft. It's too early to tell that. But he didn't add a pass rusher. So, again, I think as you head towards your weekend, I would believe in where this organization is going. They're going to win the AFC South. They're going to go to the playoffs. But they did not do enough in a huge position, that is getting to the quarterback. They seem to believe they're fine. They know more than I do. They know more than you do. I still don't understand. You have $18.5 million that's laying there. And, you're often going to hear, well, you need all that money for next year. You're going to have to re-sign Trevor, and you're going to have to get a deal done with Calvin Ridley. It doesn't matter. That money's going to free up anyway. Okay? These are one-year deals. Look at what's happening around the league. Justin Houston, one-year deal. Jadeveon Clowney, one-year deal. Dalvin Cook, Zeke Elliott, one-year deal. If you were to go out and get one of these pass rushers, it would be a one-year deal. So that would be off the books next year anyway. I find it hard to believe that Shad Khan's like, keep that $18 million, in that pot. I don't want you to spend. No, it's about going out and trying to win right now. It's about going out and trying to win this year. So what you have to really ask yourself is, did they do enough to fortify that position? I look at the Aiden Hutchinson story that came out last night where Hutchinson said all of this and all of that about, there's no place where I'd rather be. I'm glad I didn't get drafted number 1. I'm glad I got drafted number 2. And it wasn't a shot at Jacksonville. It's the fact that he's from Michigan. He played for the Wolverines. His dad played for the Wolverines. His sister was Miss Michigan. The family's from there. Of course he wants to play where he was born. It's not a shot. Some people took it that way. However, I threw it out there and explained that, but then said, after 1 year, if you had your say, would you still want Trayvon Walker, or would you go out and select Aiden Hutchinson? I think if we threw that out there, as a matter of fact, why don't we? I'd be very interested in what the survey, in fact, would be, how that poll would go. There still is a lot to be desired for Trayvon Walker as a pass rusher, and it seems like every time that we mention Trayvon Walker, you have to take it through the obligatory disclaimer, You have to remind everyone that, he's not a pass rusher by trade. Came out of a small school in Georgia, 5-star, went to the Dogs as a defensive tackle. They stood him up at Georgia. They played him in the Leo. They slid him down the line. They put his hand in the dirt. He dropped back in coverage. He set the edge. And at times, he went after the quarterback. He only had 9.5 career sacks, 6 during his final year. Only a starter for 1 year at Georgia. How do you pick a guy number 1 overall? He didn't even make first team all SEC. I mean, these are the things we all heard, okay? So, yeah, it was a project, and in a perfect world, you don't select number 1 a project. You select number 1 a phenomenal football player that you plug and play. Trayvon Walker, I think, had a good year last year. It wasn't spectacular. I'm under the belief that he's going to improve immensely this year. So you got him with all that pressure. You got Josh Allen on a contract year. Who knows what he's thinking? Yeah, he missed some minicamp time. He showed up in phenomenal shape. He's clearly their best pass rusher, but he's playing on a 5th year. The team picked up the first-round option that the team is allowed to do. His future is cloudy at best. If I threw out another poll, do you want to re-sign Josh Allen for a long-term contract, a 4-year contract? My guess is the numbers would be about 50-50 as well with that question here in Duval. So you got all that. And then, you got the Kayvon Chason. Everyone's bragging about Kayvon Chason, except for the media and the fans. The building is. The coaches are. The people close to it will say they just barely missed. 35 sacks, but they were top 8 in pressures. They were almost there. Year 2 with Mike Caldwell, they're going to scheme. They're going to be more aggressive. You saw it with Andre Sisco last Saturday, his fire from the safety position. They're going to send Devin Lloyd. They're going to send some corners. They're going to mix up some things. I love it. Why not? And bottom line, if they can stay around 20 points allowed a game, this team's going to win double digits easily. Heck, they may win 12 or 13 games if they can just maintain at that 20.5 a contest. But then you look at, where's your depth? I don't have an answer for you. Do you trust Jordan Smith? Made a couple of plays Saturday in Dallas. Do you trust, and I've renamed him, it's now Yes Sir Abdullah. Every time there's a sack, JJ, I want Duval to go, Yes Sir Abdullah. You like it? Come on.
I love it.
Come on.
It's flawless.
I mean, Yes Sir Abdul's cool and everything. That's his God-given name.
That's what I was about to say. I love Yasir. I think that's a badass
How about
name.
everyone standing up going, Yes, sir? You know, like when in 1986 when you had Vern above the tower, when Jack, at the age of 46, rolled in that putt, and Vern Lundquist goes, Yes, sir. That should be Abdullah's name. Yes, sir, Abdullah. Another sack, his 8th of the game.
His 8th of the game.
So there's a depth problem. And there's money. That's the thing. And this is legitimately funny money. It doesn't apply to next year. Because with a 1-year contract, you're gonna get that money back anyway. Understand my point? So, do you want to tell me about Melvin Ingram, who's 34? He had 6 sacks a year ago in Miami. You want to tell me about Kyle Van Noy, who's 32? Very good football player, by the way, in his days in New England. Last year in L.A., 5 sacks. The former Gator, Carlos Dunlap, just won a Super Bowl ring. He's 34. He had 4 sacks. I mean, can any of those type of players do anything for this franchise? That is what you have to ask yourself. And only time will tell. Because right now, that is clearly a numbers game. And I have him for 34 career sacks. Okay? I have 27.5 for Allen. I have 3.5 for Walker. And I have 3 for Chason. I have 0 for Yes Sir Abdullah. I have 0 for DeJuan Dixon, and I have 0 for Jordan Smith. That's 34 sacks. By far the least of any NFL team. There you go. Opening comments tonight and every night brought to you by Shmunez Vision. You know, I'd love to say that my eyes weren't good enough, and that's why I missed my tee time this morning because I could not find the golf course. That's not the case. I'm just stupid. Particularly when it comes to sense of direction. But I do love Shmunez Vision. They are incredible. And, tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun as well. I'm going to get to the chili cook-off, and I'm going to be a judge tomorrow along with a lot of former Jaguar players. That's going to be a blast. I'll get to that momentarily. As a matter of fact, you're going to hear from JU's own and former Jaguar Michael Ross coming up here in just a little bit. He will be a judge with myself tomorrow, and that should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. But I do want to really be as honest as I always am when it comes to your eyes. It's scary. Why is it that we neglect the eyes? You know, you feel a twinge or something. You're like, oh, my God, I got to go to the doctor. This is going on. It's amazing how you react to your body if it's like from the neck down. But when it's your eyes, it's like, oh, it'll be okay. Oh, you fell asleep last night in your contacts. Yeah, it'll be okay. Oh, you need a new prescription. You can't see out of your glass. Oh, yeah, it'll be okay. Why do you allow that? You only get one set of eyes. And how about right now? Driving home. Don't you notice the fatigue? Don't they feel a little bit more strained than they were when you got up this morning? Well, of course, because like everything else within your body, You're tired. It's been a long day. So your eyes begin to go on you. And with the rain that we get out of nowhere here and just the way how bad things are with drivers, I hope you have the very best that your eyes do offer. Therefore, it's about Shmunez Vision. They're your one stop for absolutely everything that involves your eyes. Set up an appointment today. Go to shmunezvision.com. That'll explain it all to you. Everything that you could possibly want, including laser eye surgery, or set up an appointment at 299-2906. That is shmunezvision.com. The incomparable J.J. LaSalva. He's had a couple of drop-ins already, including his love for my yes, sir, Abdullah.
Maybe. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Abdullah.
God bless Vern.
Let's get. Oh, I miss Vern.
God, he's like
I miss
in
him.
every major sporting event over the last 40 years.
The only problem,
they still have him on the Masters. He still does like a couple holes, but yeah, he's
at least he got it right with Jack.
Football.
You didn't call him Johnny Miller, or you didn't call him Fuzzy Zeller, or Curtis Strange, or something like that. But I do. I miss Vern a tremendous amount. All right, are we on YouTube tonight?
We are on YouTube, as always. We have a couple Twitter polls out for you guys.
2 in one night?
Yes. I know. I'm getting paid extra for this.
Yeah.
Simple. You asked both of them. Who would you rather have, Trayvon or Aiden Hutchinson? And the other one, would you sign Josh Allen to a long-term contract with the Jaguars?
Let me say this. I'm always about making a buck, but there's no way we're going to do this and sell it because I refuse to do a question of the day every day. This is like the first time I've done a question of the day in like 5 months. I just happened to come up with 2. So all you vouchers out there, ain't happening, okay?
It's brought to you by Shmunez.
Tonight's question of the day is brought to you by, yes, sir, Abdullah. How many sacks? How about make that poll question number 3 of the day? You're really working hard. All right, he's JJ. I'm Rick Ballou. We got a ton to do. Fired up on a Friday. It's great to have you with us.
I want to tell you something. Something I've never told anyone.
It's all right.
This is 1010XL.
I'm totally cool with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to one commercial today, listen to this one.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are doing it again, recognizing the local heroes in our community with a brand new car. That's right, we'll be giving away a brand new car, cash, and free oil changes for life to our local heroes. Nominate a law enforcement officer, firefighter, EMT, nurse, teacher, veteran, or your local WOW hero. Head to localwowheroes.com to nominate and vote today. Let's wow our heroes.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, Truth Teller here, checking in with words of wisdom to be applied in life in your business from the business attorneys at Jimerson Burrow. Let's go to Milton Berle. He once said, and I do quote, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build the door." End of quote. Thank you to Milton Berle. All right, big news with the fine folks over at Jimerson Burrow. For starters, these are lawyers now who can handle any one of your business's issues, okay? Any business encounter, bam, they are there. I mean, things that you would never dream of. For instance, tax planning, business succession planning, workplace policies, compliance, labor laws. Look at this with Jimerson Burr as a regular legal health check. Find potential legal issues before they become a problem. Get all your information at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey folks, you know you want shark coatings, and the time is now. So close your eyes and let's imagine your garage. Wait, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes, just wait till you get home. The rest of you see those cracks, the stains? It looks dark, dull, and dreary. It's nothing you're proud of, it's your house junk drawer. Now, see your floor with shark coatings. It's bright, it's durable, it's fresh. Since it's non-porous, it will be so much easier to clean. Don't imagine your garage, driveway, porch, or pool deck this way. Get with shark coatings and have a brand new space with new possibilities.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in 295.
One of college football's most storied programs.
It's a legacy of greatness. I'm RJ Saunders, and I'll take the Tomahawk to Tallahassee.
Brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team on 1010XL.
Find your why in your next career move at the First Coast YMCA. Everyone can get involved and make a difference in your community at the Y. And if you'd like to turn your passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
Servicing every customer like they're famous. But what does that mean for you? It comes down to the famous philosophy. You'll find a consistency at all 20 locations in friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations. They know when you find someone you trust to maintain your vehicle, keep it running right, and lasting longer, you'll stick with them. And that's the famous philosophy at Famous Automotive in Quick Lube. Ask about a fleet account for your business.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
My partners had told me I should get my knee replaced. I was in my 40s, and I decided that I wouldn't do that.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog, who found regenerative medicine years ago and became a believer.
It changed my life around. It improved me to a point where I was able to jog again.
That's when Dr. Herzog switched his focus from surgery to helping his patients with natural biologics.
I've treated at least 5,000 patients. I believe your body has everything it needs to heal itself.
Today, you'll find Dr. Herzog at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine that can give lasting pain relief with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery.
I have patients coming up to me that I did 10 years ago saying, Doc, my elbow's still working great. I'm playing tennis 3 days a week.
Call QC Kinetics now to explore alternative ways to deal with your pain. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour will meet you at the green.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Grip it and rip it.
Get tips, tour notes, and the latest gear Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Dropping the throw. Pump fake. He's going to get hit. He's going to get sacked, and that's Abdullah. That's the rookie. You talked about him, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Boy, would that be good news if he could be a factor this year.
I think he can be. He's got some natural pass rush, and he's got some natural bend, and he's got a great motor.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Yes, sir! Abdullah! Get to the quarterback. Sick him! Sick him! I love it. Yeah, it was like what? Myron Cope invented the terrible towel. Can you imagine a situation where, what was that guy on local radio who came up with yes, sir, Abdullah, and you see 70,000 screaming. all saying, yes, sir.
They'll be
All
like,
in sync.
I'll believe. Was that Lauren Brooks?
Yeah, was that Hayes? Was that was that Hacker?
Yeah, I think it was.
Who said it? An opportunity to be a star. He played well in his first opportunity. It'll be interesting to see the philosophy tomorrow night. It's already been stated officially that, Dan Campbell's not going to play his starters in Detroit, and that's a really interesting deal there with the injuries, the suspensions. He's not going to play his starters. He's not going to play his rookies. We haven't heard anything that is on the record as far as what Doug Peterson is or is not going to do tomorrow. But I think most believe that he's not going to play his starters. And why not? It's been a bad week injury-wise. Okay? The biggest one is Anton Harrison, and we just don't know at this point what is going on with him. And this may be a deal where they just hold him out for the next, 23 days or so until the regular season begins. Reportedly yesterday, he did one-on-one reps, and they were in shells. They had no shoulder pads on in day 2 working with Detroit. This report came from Kai Stevens at Jaguars.com. Visibly hurt, visibly favoring the shoulder. And we're not even talking about pads. So he did not take part in any of the 11-on-11 yesterday. And you got to give it to this guy. He toughed it out after missing a few days. And then they opened up that one particular practice in the stadium. It was a couple of Saturdays ago. Then you had those 2 live days at the Miller Electric Center, Sunday and Monday, which were the 2 best practices, in my opinion, out of the 18 that we've seen, the last 3 being in Detroit. But that's a big question, right? And Blake Hance was a starter last week at left tackle in Dallas, left guard in Dallas. He got the reps at right tackle, first-team right tackle on Wednesday and Thursday. So don't know what to make of it. The backup, Josh Wells, who really is your swing tackle for the first 4 games with the suspension of Cam Robinson. I mean, you hope Anton Harrison is ready to go. My belief is he will be ready to go at Indianapolis, and Walker Little on the left side. But for 4 games, Josh Wells becomes your third tackle, your swing guy. Right now, that's in question. And then you had another surprise with Antonio Johnson, who actually did lead the club with 8 tackles in Dallas. 5 of those were solo. And he is not going to play on Saturday night. I didn't even mention Big Foley. Fado Cassie, the boot, on the right foot. And this is significant. Big Foley is a tough dude. He played through some injuries last year. Then again, most of the league does play through injuries. That's just the way that the game is. And, they try to fortify that defensive line. Here we are talking about another pass rusher. They certainly invested the restructuring of Roy Robertson Harris, then giving Devon Hamilton a brand new deal, and also giving Fado Cassie a 3-year, $30 million deal. So Trent Baalke believes in the interior defensive line, which has been getting a push. But all of a sudden, you have a rough week. Outside of that, they're pretty healthy, right? DeJuan Smoot on the come. That's going to take a little bit of time. I guess the latest on Shatley, the abnormal heartbeat being monitored.
That's scary.
Absolutely, it's scary. Ross Matisic with the shoulder. They brought back the former deep snapper, Carson Tinker. So, Jacksonville's relatively healthy. And don't kid yourself. That was a huge part of the 2022 season, although it's weird because they lost most of the games where everyone was healthy. When guys started going down, they won a lot of games. Shaq was out by that point. Ben Barch was out. Shaq Griffin. Ben Barch was out by that point. You lost Cam late. But injuries are always a part of this thing, and certainly this does apply for each and every one of the 32 teams. The story on Trayvon Walker is one that is really kind of bizarre. And I want to talk to Mark Long about it the next time I see him. Mark Long caught up with him from the AP. And the only reason why I say it's bizarre is sometimes the way things get to print is actually different than the way that it's stated, if that makes any sense. And listen, Mark Long is a very, very good reporter. I'm not questioning that. But usually when you read comments like this, your input would be, really? I mean, he must not be. But that's not the case with Walker. Walker is brilliant. You know, this is a very, very smart human being who never wanted attention at Georgia, okay? He wasn't an attention seeker when he was with the Dogs. He's very humble. He's a class act. But when you read some of these quotes, it's like, is this really Trayvon Walker talking? For those of you who have no idea what I'm getting at, Mark got with him and asked about goals, and obviously individual goals came up, and Walker went out and said he wants to set the franchise record for sacks. It sits at 14.5 by Calais Campbell. That's fine. No problem. Then he goes on and says, and I quote, "My main accolade is the gold jacket. I feel like if I get the gold jacket, the Super Bowl and all of that will come with that." End of quote. And I'm not going to make too big of a deal out of it. If so, I would have talked about this on Monday. It's Friday. It's not that big of a deal. I just thought I would share it with you if you haven't heard it yet. I just think it's worded wrong. Okay? I mean, 99.9% of athletes will play the role of, just want to win games, want to win the Super Bowl. And if that happens, then maybe there's a gold jacket at the end of the line. He skipped all of that. He's like, I'm in search of the gold jacket, man. I'm in search of the Hall of Fame. And, on the way, we're going to win some Super Bowls and all that. I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. There are some players who've gone through here. And there are, this is something that Deion Sanders would say. This is something that Brian Bosworth would have said. This is something that Terrell Owens would have said. I never would have envisioned these comments coming out of the mouth of Trayvon Walker, because my early impression on him is he is an incredible teammate, and I just defined him for you out of my understanding a year plus in the city. And this doesn't erase any of that. I'm just really surprised by how he answered the question. This catch you off guard at all, or are you kind of all right with it?
I'm all right with that being his aspiration. You're a number one pick. That should be your aspiration, but you're just not that. I just think it's funny because he was so pedestrian in his first year. Like, you should be coming out with answers like, hey, I just want to get better. I need to be better than last year, whatever. And you're talking about being a Hall of Famer. Whatever. I mean, I'm sure he was asked a question that led to something like that. Mm-hmm. But I get that all the fans of the Jags are super pissed about how people talk about Trayvon and all that. But I mean, until he shows it, he's been a complete bust. I know it's been one season, but you can't be talking about the Hall of Fame after you had 3 sacks last year. To me, that's laughable. Yeah. You're just a guy in this league.
Says he's not bothered by, the project talk, the bus talk. None of that bothers him.
I'm sure that's a lie.
Well, I mean, I don't know. But the article's filled with comments from Josh Allen. It's filled with comments from defense coordinator Mike Collins. I'm not ripping him. I'm just – the only reason why I mentioned it is because I was really surprised when I read it. And depending on how you read it, it could come across as really is that what it's all about with him?
I didn't read it like that. Like, oh, he cares about his individual
No.
accolades before the team. But I was just like, why are you even talking about that, dude? Like, you're so far away from that.
Well,
man.
that's just it. It was a rookie season where there were a lot of mistakes. He had 3.5 sacks. He's probably remembered more for those 2 personal fouls.
Absolutely.
Than anything. And
they did a redraft on, like, one of these major publications, ESPN or something like that. He was like, I don't even know if he was in the first round.
This has been said before, but it's said, I mean, this is something that Alex Rodriguez would say. Catch my drift? I never would have thought it would have come from the lips of Trayvon Walker, because my opinion is he is a unbelievable team player. I mean, reading those comments, it almost makes you think, boy, this must come from a player who's complaining that he's not pass rushing on every play.
Right.
You know, we just talked about Jadeveon Clowney, who made a big deal last year in Cleveland that they were favoring Myles Garrett. They sent him home for the last regular season game because when you read this comment, it makes you think, boy, he must be that. And he's not. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that this is why this is so interesting to me, because it really doesn't define who I believe he is.
Mark Long is a great reporter.
He is.
That's what I took from this.
He is.
I know that he, when you sit down, because everything we've ever seen from Trayvon has been like at a presser or maybe like a one-on-one with you or Hayes where it's like 3 minutes and, he's not really giving much. But I'm sure this was like a sit-down, no cameras. This is probably the longest interview he's ever done. And Mark Long got it out of him.
Yeah, and, there's been times where you and I have spoken and we're like, let's play a cut from Trayvon Walker, and his cuts are really, really short. They're 8 seconds, they're 10 seconds, and it's like you don't get a lot from them. They're canned answers, and that's good. Coaches love that. I mean, they don't want their players coming out saying things that
all players should be like that.
Yes, Anton Harrison's that way.
Yeah.
I think you were on vacation. You were on your honeymoon. I wanted to run Anton Harrison. I'm like, man, I can't even run a clip for him because it's like a 1-sentence answer, and it just doesn't fit into. If you want to put that in a piece that you're writing, fine. Didn't really translate all that well on here on the radio, but yeah, that one just knocked me up by the side of the head. It just didn't change my opinion on him. I was just really surprised by it. So I am looking forward to catching up with Mark next week and ask him how all of that did in fact go. I mean, you never know. He could ask 20 questions, and this is where he went with it. So I don't know. Officially,
yeah, I would love to hear like how it got to that point.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that's how Trayvon led the. He didn't lead it off by, hey, before we start, let me just tell you, I'm looking forward to getting that gold jacket on.
Well, I'm in Charlotte a few weeks ago, and you talked to Jordan Travis about the Heisman, or you talked to how come I can't the Mays
Cade Klubnik?
Cade Klubnik, or you talked to Mays, the quarterback at
Duke
at North Carolina, and. It's all about winning games. Oh, and if the Heisman comes, that's great. This is just the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like, I want that.
If I'm good, then the rest will follow.
That gold jacket's coming, and along the way, there's going to be a Super Bowl, and
maybe he's just like, hey, we got Trevor, so we're good. We're going to be winning.
Yeah,
I'm just worried about me over here.
I don't know.
But if you. What's the best way to help your team win a Super Bowl? Be a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah. Maybe he knows something we don't.
I get that point, but that's, like you said, that's not usually the route people take when saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have mentioned it if it was. Now, if he had just gone on, and said, well, I think we're going to make the playoffs every year, we're going to be a great team, we're going to win a Super Bowl, then eventually I may get a gold jacket, I probably wouldn't even have mentioned it on the program. But the fact you went the other way with it is just something you almost never hear anyone say. All right, enough of that. Let's move along. We got a Plenty to do here on this Friday edition. I do want to tell you that the program brought to you by Patriot Roofing Services, specializing in all types of commercial and residential roofing and repairs. Gutters, sun tubes, skylights, 10-year workmanship warranty. Financing is available. No subcontractors, licensed and insured. So, whether you are a business owner or whether you are a homeowner, you need a new roof or you need your roof repaired, it's all about going to Patriot Roofing. Check them out online, Patriot Roofing, or give my buddy Mark a call, 982-4052, Patriot Roofing Services. Your thoughts on comments that we have out there? There's plenty. We'll give you an update on the poll on the other side. If you want to join the conversation, best way to do it is the text line, 641-1010, and that is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Trevor drops, fires to the back of the end zone. The ball's caught for the touchdown. Christian Kirk in Jacksonville strikes first.
I stress all the time, don't chase plays, just make them when they come to you. What you saw from our young guys is they executed the offense or defense and made a play.
Next up, Detroit, Saturday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
Attention sports fans, we've got an exciting announcement for all you golf and football enthusiasts out there. At Fourscore Golf Tavern, we're taking the game day experience to a whole new level. Picture this, hitting the perfect drive on our state-of-the-art golf bays while catching every touchdown on our massive screens. That's right, we're combining the best of both worlds, golf and football, made even better with our elevated food and craft cocktails, right here at Fourscore Golf Tavern in San Marcos Square.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
Players Grill Mandarin is welcoming the Roadrunners, North Florida's hottest variety band with lead vocalist Glenn Dewberry and lead guitarist Mike Torelli. Friday, August 25th, 8 p.m. at Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track.
We're basically going to have to win.
Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive.
1 point to the good.
And for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 18, 1995, the Jaguars played their first ever home preseason game in their new stadium. Over 72,000 fans in attendance for the game against St. Louis Rams.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Mike Dempsey for Tire Outlet. Ride in style with a brand new set of tires from my friends at Tire Outlet. We offer the best selection, best quality, and best prices so you can find the best tires for your vehicle. With over 40 years of experience at 15 locations across Florida, Tire Outlet is the brand you can trust with your vehicle's tires and much more. Hurry in for great deals on tires with our legendary price match guarantee. Our expert technicians are ready to do the maintenance and repairs to keep your vehicle performing its best. Tire Outlet, wholesale prices, premium service.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children.
Dr. George Barry here, and as a specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatment of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at barryorthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners, Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy, higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All the attention on Ford Field tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The late Warren Zevon, perhaps watching. Sadly, kids, he's not going to the Hall of Fame, but that's okay. Shaka Khan is. We are talking about Trayvon and the jacket. My God, is there anything more messed up than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
You know, that's Leon's like one of his first crushes.
Shaka Khan?
Yes.
Shaka Khan?
Not exactly a great rock star, but
it's okay, man. It's, hey, you know, they want to be diverse. Fine. When they take off rock and roll, replace rock and roll with music. And the guys like me won't complain.
yeah, but then you got to have like Bach in there. You know, Beethoven. Like, if we're just going music.
Give up a little wing for them.
Yeah. The Veterans Society will vote them in.
Can you look it up for me? Can you tell me if Led Zeppelin is in the country Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Doesn't look like they are.
Are the Rolling Stones in? Is Pink Floyd in? Is there a hip hop Hall of Fame?
I'll look.
Can you let me know if Yes is in, or if the Steve Miller Band is in, or if Fleetwood Mac is in?
The Pretenders. There is. It's in New York.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it looks like none of the people we named are part of that.
It's a different style of music. It's not rock and roll. It's hip hop. It's country. Right? They have their own Hall of Fame. Why are they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It just totally pisses me off. And don't go. First of all, who the hell would want to go to Cleveland? Second of all, it's a joke. I've been, and it was a miserable time. Kind of like to see Shaka Khan, though. That'd be a fun show, right? It's kind of hanging out. Shaka Khan. All that good stuff.
Is she still performing? She's like 70 plus.
I don't know. Maybe if I fly out to Cleveland and see her display, they'll let us know.
Oh, my God, she is. These people never give up.
Mm-mm. Brother, all off the drugs. Why do you think they keep touring?
I was like, why do the Stones, they have so much money that it's like, why? They don't even like each other, right?
Because it's the bright lights. It's all they know.
It's like a high.
Absolutely. It's a high they can only get by doing that. And unlike the athletes that we talk about every day, their time comes and their time goes. And they're replaced by younger athletes. You know, actors and rock stars can keep it going. Why do you think in our business, once playing days are over or coaching days are over, I mean, I noticed today that Shannon Sharp's now going to ESPN.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect thing. Like that's a great example. These guys just go straight to TV.
Shannon Sharp was one of the worst guys in the locker room as far as the media was concerned. Now, I never covered him directly. He was in Baltimore and Denver.
Like,
but that's what people will tell you.
Like, he would go at the media, or he wouldn't give good answers.
He was just a jackass. You know, we all remember when he stood up and told the media they couldn't ask Ray Lewis questions about the murder and all. You can't tell. The media has bigger. The media's egos are as big as the players and coaches they cover, a lot of them. You can't stand up and tell them what they can and what they can't do. This is not my comment on Shannon Sharp. These are comments that I have heard from several other people. Yet he's good at it. He's got the gift of gab, so he's going to grab these jobs. So athletes, when they get old, they become coaches or they become broadcasters. Rock stars get off the drugs, line themselves up with younger musicians who are thrilled to be playing with these folks. And the product ends up being pretty good.
Like a Derek Trucks or something.
Well, Derek Trucks did that with the Allman Brothers.
Right, I know.
Yeah, the
somebody.
Tedeschi Trucks band they're all relatively the same age. And he's lost a few members in that band that have passed. But anyway. All right, a lot of stuff coming in. I got a couple of obligatory people telling me I'm too hard on Trayvon Walker and this and that. I'm surprised by his answer. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I want to see him have a huge year. I mean, I'm Team Trayvon. I'm not a Trayvon Walker apologist, but I'm Team Trayvon. I'm not sitting here behind the mic like secretly hoping that Trayvon Walker's going to fail because I would have drafted one of the two tackles, whether it was Evan Neal or Ike Ekwonu. No, I'm not wired that way. Absolutely, I want to see him do well. I want to see you have fun as a Jaguar fan. Let's get ready for our 7 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about the outstanding human being that is Phil Mickelson in hour number 2. I still am getting a little bit of reaction from my announcement last night that I am taking Florida State to knock off LSU, but I'm picking LSU to win the national championship. And it's almost as if I have totally offended North Florida. How dare you, Ballou, not pick Georgia? Or how dare you, Ballou, not pick Alabama? It's almost like in a large circle, you are so off the grid if you do not pick one of those two schools to win a national championship. I'm not doing it. Because we don't know we think we know who the quarterback is going to be, Carson Beck, and we'll see who gets it officially at Alabama. I'm sure Kirby and Nick know, right? And I read everything today, the comments by, about the quarterbacks. They had their last day of installation today in Athens. Tomorrow is a scrimmage. Then next week they're going to find out who, in fact, it's probably Carson Beck, right? But still, you're talking about guys who have not played, have not started. Georgia has the easiest schedule I've ever seen. Georgia's going to go 12-0. I think LSU beats them in the SEC championship game. I think LSU beats Alabama at Alabama. So, yeah, I have taken LSU to win the national title, even though they're going to lose on opening day in Orlando to Florida State. You know why I made that pick, too, ladies and gentlemen? Because I'm a Florida State homer. All right, quick show update. This is our last Friday night show, 6 to 8, for the next, 9, 10 Fridays during high school football. So beginning next Friday, I will be on the AM only from 3 until 6. That's the AM app, 1010 AM app, and as well as 1010 on your radio dial. You do want to get the 1010 app and the 92.5 app. Of course, I'm on 92.5 every night, always. But for the next 8, 9, 10 weeks, whatever it may be, Fridays 3 to 6 during football season with high school football here on the AM only, and that starts next Friday. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. We got tons to do. It's good to have you with us. This is Into the Night.
Wonder what Dan Hicken would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
I wanna kiss you all over.
Dan Hicken.
And over and again.
Mornings.
Dun, dun, dun.
On 1010XL.
The blockbuster event of the summer is here.
Outrunning a helicopter isn't exactly what I had in mind for my beach getaway.
But this isn't another full-throttle action movie. It's the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Wait, what?
Featuring the action-packed 2023 Nissan Rogue and Nissan Sentra, with sport modes that give the performance of a lifetime.
Stealing my spotlight.
And now comes the real star of the show.
Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims. Availability is limited, so shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
For well-qualified buyers, 0% APR financing for 36 months on new 2023 Rogue, excluding S-Trim and dealer stock. Example, 36 months financing at $27.78 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 9/5/23.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Are you still feeling the heat this summer? Looking to keep your cool? Look no further than Lloyd's Heating and Air. At Lloyd's Heating and Air, we're your go-to experts for all things HVAC. Whether you're building a new home, need a brand new AC installation, or just want to make sure your current system is running at peak performance, we've got you covered. Our skilled team specializes in new construction HVAC, making sure your home or business is comfortable from the moment you step inside. Lloyd'sHeatingandAir.com. CMC 1249834.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
David Garrard here. Once again, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has gotten me back to my active lifestyle by easing my knee pain with PRP treatment. PRP is a platelet-rich plasma concentrate that promotes tissue repair and healing and can even help alleviate pain caused from arthritis. Ask your doctor at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if PRP may be right for you too.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Cold beer and good grub. That's what you'll get at Taps on 210. Just a great neighborhood feel where friends and family get together. Check out Taps in the Winn-Dixie Plaza, just west of 95 on County Road 210, proudly supporting our 9 After 5 weekly. Head there for a cold one.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate, full of choices and all of them good.
Elevate your party game to the next level with Mystic Cornhole Company. Visit their showroom now on the corner of Hogan and Parental Home Road. It's your one-stop destination for all things cornhole. MysticCornhole.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, after a 3-year absence, The Who released Who Are You? On this date. August 18th, 1978, went all the way up to number 2. I mean, no one could compete with the Grease soundtrack, which was like one of the first movies I was like ever allowed to go to with like a couple of buddies in the outskirts of Boston. And don't kid yourself, Grease was phenomenal at that age. The horror of all this was 3 weeks later. Keith Moon died September 7th.
3 weeks later.
32 years of age. Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
So how many albums did they make after him?
They made quite a few. I know in the 80s, I forget the name of it, with Athena on it, and a couple of other of those hits in circa, 82, 83? Maybe something like that. But that was the last album they made with, and, they did some individual stuff. Roger Daltrey went out and, remember, like After the Fire, his individual or his solo project, and Pete Townsend did a lot of solo work. Pete Townsend's got 4 or 5 really good songs. Give Blood is like one of my favorites. Give Blood. But you may find that it's not enough. And at the end, the chorus is Give Love and Let's Keep Blood Between Brothers. Oh, my God. That is my Jimerson Burr words of wisdom all of next week. Give blood. No. Give love and keep blood between brothers.
Amen.
You don't need to play guitar on that. It's play the beginning of it if you can. It's David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. Oh, here it is. Oh,
it already sounds like a Pink Floyd song.
Oh, I just wish that I was running and ripping with you kids tonight on a Friday. Oh, to bring me back my youth. Oh, Friday night, Duval. Pete Townsend, vocals only. And said it's the greatest frontman of all time combined with the lead guitarist. And Pink Floyd's David Gilmour. Yes, sir! Abdullah! Yes, sir! Abdullah off the edge. He's got him! Fumble!
Loving it.
I'm going straight to Ballou's Bar tonight. It's going to be a party. If I'm late for the chili cookout tomorrow, you know why. Oh, my goodness. Music never disappoints unless you play soft. Dolly Parton, that type of stuff that you now see in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But if you want to get after it, man, that's the one thing. Sports is eventually going to let you down, right?
It always does.
Your relationship is eventually going to let you down, okay? Your job is eventually going to let you down. Your body is going to decay. You're going to go to pot. Music is always there, man. It's always there. Movies as well. I kind of dig he's not a strong man. He's not a cultural man. Like Dennis Hopper in Apocalypse Now, and he's a photojournalist and he's whacked out on weed. Martin Sheen's in to try to kill Marlon Brando. They go down the river with Lance the Surfer.
Now you think it was just weed?
Oh, who knows what's in there?
It had
Opium.
to be a lot more than that. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's the brother who gets killed? Very good. It's not Lawrence Fishburne.
A young Lawrence Fishburne.
Very, very young. Look at all this stuff that's coming in now. Here we go. Wait, what? UG has the easiest schedule in Ricky's lifetime? Who knew? Thanks for telling me. You mentioned every time you talk. Well, there you go. And you know what the beauty of that is, 6121? You listen to me. Thank you. Let's meet. I'll let you buy me a Miller Lite. That's awesome. I love Georgia's with me. And the good thing about it is Georgia can't argue. It's not Georgia's fault. I used to get that with Florida State when they were really, you guys play a pansy, you guys play, well, they're better than everyone. That's your problem. Georgia is so good right now that this is realistically the easiest schedule I have ever seen in the SEC. And it's not a slight to Georgia. Believe it or not, it's a compliment to Georgia. And I know that Oklahoma and that thing ended, so they could have been in there against either UT Martin or Ball State or UAB, whatever it was going to be, one of those three early non-conference games. But you have those three in South Carolina at home in the month of September. How good of a party is that going to be? 4 straight blowouts, and you don't Spencer Rattler me, you don't Shane Beamer me, whatever. It's South Carolina. They're going to get punched in the mouth by the Dogs. You go to Auburn. Auburn announced their starting quarterback yesterday. It's going to be the Michigan State transfer who is going to take over, Peyton Thorne. 2 years as a starter, threw 49 touchdown passes for Michigan State. In the Plains, it's the longest rivalry in the South. Georgia wins that by 21, maybe 28. Kentucky comes in, please. Hey, Ballou, Mark Stoops has the longest tenure of any coach in the SEC East. Maybe up there in the SEC. I have to check Nick Saban once again. At Vanderbilt, Florida here, Missouri, Ole Miss. You got to go to Tennessee. Tennessee finds one every once in a while against Georgia. Tennessee had that honestly, it should be a franchise-ending record. They were I think they had lost 25 of their last 26 combined to both Florida and Alabama. I mean, again, they should have given up the football program based on solely that. Can you imagine your two biggest rivalries losing 25 of 26? And yeah, they got Bama last year, and they got Florida last year. They also got Florida back in. Was that a mirage for me, or did Anthony Richardson throw that ball in the 12th row? Florida had a chance to win it on the final play. Tennessee couldn't put teams away, kind of like Florida State struggled to put teams away. You go to Tennessee, you have Georgia Tech. That's a 12-0 schedule. I just think LSU's going to get them. People are heated about that. Again, I somehow I didn't get did you get a memo? Did I miss this, RJ, that we have been told that you have to pick either Georgia or Alabama to win a national championship that you absolutely are not allowed to have another opinion?
I've heard JJ, by the way, not RJ, but it's easy to. I've seen some LSUs, not necessarily here at the station, but I've definitely seen some LSUs around, national writers, stuff like that. Alabama's actually not getting a ton of love this year, which I think I heard somewhere that Alabama, in the last 4 times they were not ranked number 1 preseason, they won the national title. But I think I've seen Michigan a lot because they have a quarterback coming back. You know, people like to lean on a quarterback coming back, which I agree with you. LSU's got one.
Yep. And
Alabama doesn't. Georgia doesn't.
I had it down to 4 teams. Georgia was one of them, the only one who's not returning a quarterback. I had USC. I had Michigan, and I had LSU. Okay, I ended up picking LSU. The latest from Caesars. All right, Georgia plus 230. You lay $100 down. Georgia wins the national title. You're making an additional $230. Next up, Alabama plus 650. You lay a hunch, you get plus 650. Ohio State plus 750. Michigan plus 800. USC and LSU plus 1,000. So, I'm picking LSU to win a national championship. Do I feel comfortable enough to lay money down on its return? No, I don't. I'm just making a prediction, but it is against, the grid here a little bit. Although it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's tied for 5th as far as odds.
Those also aren't great odds. Only 10-1.
Yeah.
For a team to win the national title before the season starts, it's just not worth it.
Okay, but when we get through those.
Now, if they lose to FSU, you could get them at like 50-1. You know, like something crazy after that, 100-1.
So those are the top 5. It's 6 teams because you have USC and LSU at plus 1. You know, as you said, 10-1 odds. I always say plus 1,000. You can do it either way. All right, give me a team here. Let me give you the next 5. And honestly, tell me if you think any one of these 5 teams has a chance of winning a national title. Clemson, plus 1,600. Florida State, plus 1,800. Texas, 20-1. Penn State, 22-1. Texas A&M, 28-1. That is what? That is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. That is Texas A&M has the 11th best odds to win a national title right now at Caesars. Texas A&M, they've never finished better than 3rd in the SEC West.
And I think Texas being on there is pretty stupid too. But
they got higher odds in Tennessee.
At least they almost beat Alabama last year. Texas A&M, did they beat? They almost beat Alabama too, or did they? They always play them tough. But yeah, that's a team that's going to lose at least 3 games. They do every year. What's going to happen is they're going to destroy Miami, and people are going to be really hype on Texas A&M.
Canes are back, bro.
Yeah, in basketball,
Canes are back.
Yeah, I could see them laying like a 40 burger on Miami, winning like 42-17 or something, and then them being in the top 5 after that, and then disappointing like they always do later on in the season. You know, losing Ole Miss.
That Texas A&M story is going to be just phenomenal. Tracking, what is going on with Jimbo Fisher and why is my computer just wigging out on me? Is it because it's a Friday? Is it because I couldn't find the golf course this morning? I mean, this is just nuts. I hate these laptops. Give me back the old computer. I could navigate the old computer.
Will Petrino be calling plays by the end of the season?
They don't know. Gotta go to my phone. This thing doesn't work.
I'm assuming he's starting the season calling plays, but will it end like that?
Well, apparently, I know Jimbo's saying that they're going to be, involved in the conversation. They're both going to have a say.
Well, they both have a headset on, so yes.
Jimbo's, it's not going to be like Bobby Bowden with no headset.
Yeah.
Jimbo's snotty, though. When it's 3rd down, that Jimbo's going to be making the call. And Bobby Petrino doesn't have a lot of patience, so this has a chance to really be a massive meltdown. And frankly, it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun to watch. Have to go to my phone here. I can't figure this out on this laptop. I just wanted to look back real quick on what Texas A&M did a year ago. Boy, that game against Miami was 17-9.
Oh, it was a rough watch.
Texas A&M, wow, I forgot about that. App State beat them. Then A&M beats Miami at home 17-9. They just barely get through Arkansas 23-21. There's an asterisk by it. I believe that was at Jerry's World. Then Alabama lost 6 straight games. Or excuse me, Texas A&M lost 6 straight games. At Mississippi State, at Alabama, at USC.
Not the good USC either. South Carolina.
At
Ole Miss.
Home with Mississippi, home with Florida, and then at Auburn. They lost 6 in a row last year.
I forgot they lost to the Gators.
Played Alabama tough, 24-20.
But then
in
beats
Tuscaloosa.
LSU at the end of the year.
Yeah, they did.
Was that a Jaden Daniels-less LSU team?
How dare you, Ballou? How did Ballou pick LSU to win? They lost to Texas A&M last year. And all those Georgia fans would tell you that they were clobbering them like 50-10. Then they called off the Dogs.
No, Jaden Daniels did play in that game.
Along with Garrett Nussmeier. So.
It's just, I forget so much. I mean, it was just a year ago, but it's too many games.
Well, listen, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. I'm always going to promote the game. I love the game. But, those comments that Lane Kiffin made yesterday were just so telling. And Lane Kiffin does not care what anyone thinks about him. Can you imagine being a booster of Mississippi and your head coach made the comments that he did a day ago? And he's right. You can't argue with those comments. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, he was referencing the NIL and how none of these kids ever grew up wanting to go to Mississippi. They went to Mississippi because they got a good deal with the NIL, and that's the way that college football is now. It's not going to change. But anyway, that is that. All right, let's take a quick break. I want to come back and I want to actually make a point. And I can't believe I'm going to make this point, okay? But I'm going to. And it's next.
Rubbins Racing.
He got moved and moved him back.
And 1010XL has live NASCAR this Sunday at Watkins Glen. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of joint pain holding you back? Try BioTarget from Injury Care Centers. This treatment will prolong the life of your joints by targeting the root of your pain and delivering more regenerative cells to the affected area, ensuring faster and more effective healing, making BioTarget the most advanced regenerative treatment. For a limited time, BioTarget starts as low as $499. Call Injury Care Centers or visit GoBioTarget.com. That's GoBioTarget.com.
There's a new butcher in town. We're talking a vacuum marinating, sausage grinding, take and bake siding, value pricing, full service butcher. And our name is Southern Steer.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Players Grill Mandarin is welcoming the Roadrunners, North Florida's hottest variety band with lead vocalist Glenn Dewberry and lead guitarist Mike Torelli. Friday, August 25th, 8 p.m. at Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
Mia O'Brien is going to be the first woman president of the United States of America.
Catch me weekdays on XL Primetime from 12 to 3 and Tuesday nights on Helmets and Heels.
And she could run later this year even, and I would vote for her.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota on 1010XL.
I-9 Sports, offering youth sports leagues all over the First Coast. If you want to find out how you can get your son or daughter in flag football, soccer, basketball, or t-ball, the focus is simply on them. Log on to i9sports.com and get your kid in the game.
Want to help improve the lives of women and make sure that all survivors of sexual assault are treated with compassion and respect? Join Farah and Farah and the Women's Center of Jacksonville at the summer's biggest breakfast, Thrive, on August 22nd to learn how to pick up the pieces after life throws you a curveball. The Women's Center of Jacksonville is a valuable community resource offering free services when they are needed the most, but they need your support. Visit the WCJ.org for more information on Thrive.
When your vehicle needs an oil change, but you just haven't got the time, run into the newest Famous Quick Lube location on San Jose near Crown Point. It's the same fast, affordable vehicle care at your convenience. That's Famous Quick Lube.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill is your spot to be for all your football needs. Full liquor bar, 8 pool tables, darts, and shuffleboard. Weekend specials include happy hour all day Friday to $3 seltzer Saturdays, along with wing and pitcher specials on Sunday. Watching the Jag game, $19 domestic buckets on game day. There isn't a better place to play pool, have a beer, and just kick back. Perfect Rack Billiards on Edgewood and Murray Hill. The best place in Jax to watch sports.
You want to know how to get more RV for your money? Easy. You go to General RV during the big summer blowout, August 16th through the 20th. We've got big blowout prices on travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, and more. There are new models already coming in, so everything is priced to move. And this is how to save thousands. You want to make your money go farther on a new RV? Head to General RV now in Orange Park on Wells Road off 295.
ET here for the Aesthetic Center. Come on, guys. It's time to shed that dad bod and score sculpted abs in just 4 easy treatments of the M-Sculpt Neo with Dr. Rappaport. Each treatment is equal to 20,000 crunches, no downtime, and it's non-invasive. No more hiding under them baggy shirts. Get ready to show off your six-pack like your boy on game day. Call 808-2455 to get started. That's 808-2455. Or book an appointment online at jacksaestheticcenter.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, some Knowles are out, and they're on me. Twitter says, Ballou, are you saying FSU loses to them in the playoffs then? Because if they beat LSU, they are running the table in the Atlantic Coast Conference. No, they're not. I have them losing at Clemson. I have them losing at Pittsburgh. It's a November game at Pitt. It's cold. And I'm realistic. They've lost 3 in a row to Wake Forest. They faced an awful Florida team last year and nearly lost to them. They faced an awful Oklahoma team last year and nearly lost to them. A remarkable pick by Kevin Knowles, getting both feet in on the sideline at the 35. Everyone talked about the great comeback with Tate Rodemaker, and it was fun. You know, when he threw that touchdown pass over Jarvis Brownlee and the great reception by Johnny Wilson, but Louisville was driving it right down their throat. Phenomenal pick to solidify that game. Now, the difference is if those games were played in 2021, Florida State loses those games. They found a way to win them. So that's improvement. But as far as all this national title talk, there's a chance, obviously, but I am defining this year for Florida State as win the games you're supposed to win. If Clemson beats you, get better. If LSU beats you, get better. Stop losing to Wake Forest. Don't lose it, Pitt. Prove me wrong. Don't let Florida hang around for 60 minutes like a year ago. Don't let Oklahoma and Florida weren't even 500 teams. And Florida State just barely pulled them out. Far superior teams. They got to be better in-game coaching. They have to get better at coaching. This offense is so potent, but if you honestly sit back and trust Mike Norvell as a play caller, and you have no issues with that, you're crazy. And I understand the last 4 or 5 games, they average more than 35 points a game. They're petrifying at goal line. Why do they run counters with tight ends at goal line? So, he's young. He's 41. He's getting better. I want it to happen. But that's my point. You lose to Clemson, it hurts, yeah. But I'd much rather lose to Clemson than lose to Wake Forest. Okay? Wake Forest. They've won 3 in a row. Wake Forest. Start winning those games. Win the games you're supposed to win. I wanted to get to the Billy Walters story here on Phil Mickelson. Bottom line is Mickelson's a turd. He's just an awful human being. And when push comes to shove, Phil doesn't care about anyone except himself. This book is coming out next week, Gambler, Secrets from a Life at Risk. I think to some aspect, you have to consider that Bill Walters is a gambler. Therefore, he's a liar. Bill Walters has also been behind bars, so he's very bitter. But the bottom line in the story is that if Walters believes that if Phil Mickelson testified for him, he wouldn't have actually gone to prison. And it documents his, whether it was money laundering comes up, also accused of getting information with, inside trading and things along those lines. So, inside information, I guess it was Dean Foods that was the company that, and of course Phil denies all this. No one wiggles out of trouble like Phil Mickelson. But I can't, I am excited to read this book. It should be really interesting. Hey, let me ask you this, JJ. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to. Because I'm so disappointed in myself. But if there's one thing I always am, it's I'm honest. And even when I'm vulnerable, like this particular situation. You remember a few weeks ago when Rich Eisen said...
Oh, my favorite.
Put Ellie De La Cruz into the All-Star game?
Yeah, when he played 20 games.
Right. It was a comment that was a complete abomination. And, what it said is that Rich Eisen knows football. He doesn't have a clue about the history of baseball. He doesn't have a clue about baseball today. Okay? But here's my point. And I hate it. JJ, I hate it. Because I think Rich Eisen is such a clown and such a sellout that he has caused me now to openly root against L.A. De La Cruz. Openly. Okay, so my question is this.
That's sad.
My question is this, whether it's local or national. Is there someone in the media that you dislike to the point when they love a player that you find yourselves going against that player simply because that member of the media likes them?
I can't point to one member of the media in particular, but just as a collective, their love affair with Lamar Jackson makes me root hard against him. And I can't think of many more but he is like, oh my God, the way they drool about him, the whole, the league was in cahoots together to not get this guy a contract this year, and then when it happened, they didn't have anything to say about it afterwards. The love affair with Lamar Jackson makes me cheer against him. But no, not a single person in the media that I can think of.
I feel so bad about this, and I hope that I
love it.
I hope I'm man enough that I can get through it, because this man's 21 years of age from the Dominican Republic.
He's a child.
He's a 6'5", 200-pound. He's been playing shortstop and third base. He is a bona fide five-tool player who could be a superstar.
Arguably the most exciting player in the game.
And because of Rich Eisen's asinine comment, I find myself now, I don't watch as much baseball night in, night out as I used to. I still am a box score junkie, and I go to them all the time. And as I'm going to bed at night, there's probably league-wide maybe 30, 35 guys a night that I always look at when I check every box score. I'm not a fantasy guy. I'm just I'm a box score junkie. I don't know why, but I find myself rooting against this kid simply because of this is so unprofessional on my part.
But you're admitting it, so that makes it professional at this. So on Wednesday night, when you laid your head down on your pillow and you look on your MLB app and you see that our boy De La Cruz went 0 for 4 against the Cleveland Guardians.
10 minutes later,
well.
10 minutes later, I'm REM and I got a blonde on one arm and a brunette on the other.
Yeah,
okay?
he's actually 1 for his last 12. So
yeah, I think earlier in the week he hit a solo shot. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, he did.
Rich Eisen's in L.A. right now, and he's not even aware of this, but he'll go back and look at it like 2 weeks from now and say, hey, put Eli De La Cruz into the Hall of Fame.
So far this year, he's batting .260 with a terrible on-base percentage, 308, a pretty high slugging percentage. So he's middle of the road, 100 OPS, which is right on average. That's bang average with baseball. If you're at an OPS plus of 100, then that's just an average player. So it's not like he's been killing it.
It was
good for you.
It was a stupid comment by Rich Eisen based on a sequence of plays that may go down as the overall play of the year if you combine it all.
When he stole home.
Stole second base, stole third base, stole home. It was incredible. There's not a baseball fan. I mean, that was Jackie Robinson stuff. That was Willie Mays. There's not a baseball fan out there who can't appreciate that. But when you got a guy who doesn't watch the game, doesn't understand the game, make a comment like that, to put him into the All-Star game after like 25 games played is so awful. And again, I'm not proud of my feeling here, but I'm being honest as I always have been. So I would like to ask our listening audience, have you had a similar situation like this where you've seen a member of the media overdo it to the point where they're wrong? And that's the case. Rich Eisen was wrong. We're talking about the history of baseball. L.A. De La Cruz could be an all-star for the next 15 years. He could be a Hall of Famer. But you don't put a guy in the All-Star game when he's played 25 games. It just,
especially when you've literally never watched a game.
I'm
Rich.
a baseball historian, and I'm like, no. That's, it's my same thing about like you can't put Chaka Khan in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and keep Thin Lizzy and Jethro Tull out. But people do these things.
Now, I you as well cheer for Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
Who is a very
I like bad boys.
Unpopular with the media guy. So this is almost like the opposite, where you cheer for someone because he's hated. I find myself cheering hard for the live guys.
Yeah. But to our listeners, can you relate to this? Where there's been a guy that's got you to really dislike a player, but it was media-driven. And it wasn't media-driven where they dislike that player. It's media-driven where they gush over that player. They love that player to the point where you're like, you got to be kidding me.
We got a great one. Jeff and Dan's love for that guy in Indy. I think they call him AR.
That I don't know. I missed that one.
Well, the Gator quarterback, of course.
Oh.
I'm assuming they love.
Oh, okay.
Anthony Richardson.
Well, that's another interesting story, the Anthony Richardson one. And I get that. I saw when Chris Ricks was, I saw it with Xavier Lee. I saw it with Chris Lee. I saw it with guys that did not play well when the fans turned on them. And I understand that AR only completed 54% of his passes. But that was really weird a year ago.
People are saying Herbie in Ohio State. Yeah.
Okay.
Not an individual player, but just a program.
Dr. Herbie in Ohio State. Okay, that's a team. Not bad. Anyway, 641-1010 on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. This may be the lowest point of my 31-year career after making those comments. Hopefully I'm allowed back on air Monday.
Consider him the captain of your ride home.
Frank Frangie.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
We're on our way to the moon, Fred.
Frank Frangie.
Oh, that man.
Afternoons on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Are you ready for the ultimate happy hour experience? Look no further than Bellwether, downtown's undisputed champion of good times. It's Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 7 p, with the exception on Friday when happy hour starts at 11 a.m. Rally the team and head over to Bellwether. The vibe is full and the food is unbeatable. Free parking after 6 p on weekdays and all weekend. Bellwether Restaurant, where great food and the best happy hour in town come together for an epic win.
When you choose J-Dog Junk Removal, you're not just hiring a junk removal service. You're investing in a company that believes in making a lasting impact on the lives of our veterans and our community. J-Dog is dedicated to giving back to our local veteran organizations. They have donated over $50,000 in materials and services, ensuring that these valuable organizations have the resources they need to support our veterans. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
People often ask me, Lee, do I have to take the roadside sobriety tests? The answer is no. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett. Auditioning for your freedom on the side of the road can be nerve-wracking. And although your refusal might be used in court, in many cases, it's better to think twice and talk with an attorney first. I have 25 years of experience defending those accused of DUIs and criminal charges all over Northeast Florida. I'm from here, I live here, and I'm here to help you if you need me. I love fighting for your rights. Know Before You Blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Stay connected to Gainesville with the Florida Gator Report.
Join me, Taylor Dahl, as I keep a close eye on everything that happens in Gator Nation.
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts on 1010XL.
At Ratify Credit Union, we know that empowered people do powerful things. Big things, crazy things, wonderful things. And that's why we're here, to find ways to say yes, to make banking easy, and to help you make waves. So whatever crazy idea is in the back of your mind, we've got the banking how-to to go with your why not. Banking, lending, savings, empowering. Find it at ratifycu.org. Ratify Credit Union. Make waves. Insured by NCUA.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
Big news at J&M Roofing. We've teamed up with Solcium Solar to offer solar energy systems in addition to the best roofing products in the industry. 904-337-0509. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella.
License number CCC 1331951.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida, 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty, a proud partner of the Jaguars. Get your slightly salty Brackish Vodka fix every happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. at Palms Fish Camp and Restaurant off Heckscher Drive.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. And let me get this right, Greg. Cycles is selling boats?
We are carrying the Coach Pontoon boats, which comes with a legendary Honda engines, and these things are first class.
So Honda outboard engines, if you have one, this is where you can go and get it repaired. And then you also have these pontoon boats.
In stock, ready to have some fun on the water, and they are big fun.
So it's not just Cycles of Jacksonville. They are an authorized boat dealer. Come check out the coolest new concept in pontoons. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Hey, poker players! The Card Player Poker Tour is back at Best Bet Jacksonville from August 10th to the 21st. The tournament schedule's packed with excitement and features 9 different poker tournaments, including the $1,700 no-limit Hold'em Mystery Bounty Main Event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool. Head to BestBetJacks.com for the full schedule and information. That's BestBetJacks.com.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Frangie here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
All right, thank you to the good folks at Key Buick GMC. Love my GMC Sierra truck. GF loves her Buick Enclave. You can get them right there across the street from Tinseltown. That is Key Buick GMC. All right, let's begin with really the big story of the day, and that is who's not coming. That is Jadeveon Clowney. Sounds a one-year deal in Baltimore. He joins Justin Houston. Those two were both mentioned prominently to come here to Jacksonville, including Jadeveon Clowney, who visited earlier in the week, or it was over the weekend, but he does sign today a one-year deal with Baltimore. So that leaves a little bit of a hole there for the Jaguars as far as a pass rusher. Again, they have 34 career sacks. If you look at the 27.5 with Josh Allen, the 3.5 with Trayvon Walker, and the 3 for K'Lavon Chaisson, the next 3, you don't have any. One's a rookie in Abdullah. Then you have Dixon and you have Jordan Smith. That would be your 6 pass rushers, in my opinion. What is really unusual is you have $18 million to spend. And it's not like you need that money to carry over next year, because by going out and getting a guy like this, it would be a one-year deal. So you would automatically recoup that money for the 2024 season. So I find that very interesting. But that is what this organization has done. They have been hitting home run after home run with their latest transactions. It feels that way, free agency and the draft. It appears they've missed here. We'll see if, in fact, they try to do something. There's still a couple of guys out there, right? I mean, you've got Kyle Van Noy. You've got Melvin Ingram. You've got the former Gator that I'm trying to think of, who was with the Cincinnati Bengals, then last year won a Super Bowl ring with the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be Carlos Dunlap. Yeah. Ingram's 34, Van Noy's 32, Carlos Dunlap is 34.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping 1010XL rolling with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
What's up, Hacker?
Rick, I'm good, man. Yeah, the Jadeveon Clowney news is interesting. I don't know the culture fit with Clowney. Talking to people in Cleveland, he did an awful lot of belly aching and complaining up there, and I just don't know how that would have meshed in this locker room. So we'll see. I'm not as upset about this one as I was about Justin Houston. I really wanted Justin Houston. This one today doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah, I've been talking about it a little bit. The one thing about Clowney that I think is misrepresented is the assumption he's really good against the run. He's not. Now, do people run do they run to the other side? Do they run against? I don't know, but I saw him compared. People were trying to make it was an interesting article that compared him to Calais Campbell and J.J. Watt. One's a shoe-in Hall of Famer. Calais, I think, has a chance when it's all said and done to get in. But guys who have been double-digit sack guys, but also, really set that edge and do great against the run. We all remember that hit by Clowney at Michigan, but he's not been a great run defender.
No, I mean, he had 9 sacks in 2021, only 2 sacks last year in 12 games. Prior to his 9-sack year, I think he had 3 sacks in 2 combined seasons due to injuries. So in the last 4 years, he hasn't had more than 3 sacks except for a 9-sack campaign in 2021. Translation, 43 sacks in 9 years for Jadeveon Clowney. Not exactly Reggie White. So, look, Baltimore's happy about it. I get it. He'll be a rotation piece. I want to see more of Yasir Abdullah. I want to see more of the young guys. Look, in Trent we trust, right? Balky's hit home run, like you said, after home run. They must like the young guys, and until he's proven wrong, I'm going to say Trent Baalke has earned the right to take this chance.
What's coming up tonight?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go over to Tallahassee. Jeff Colhane, play-by-play voice of the Florida State Seminoles, is going to join us. As obviously, we're 2 weeks and change away from the Seminoles and LSU. He's going to join us at 8:40. And coming up in about 15 minutes, we had Lomas Brown last night. Another former great Detroit Lion, Herman Moore, joins the show tonight. And I want to talk to Herman not only about the Jags and the Lions, I want to talk about Calvin Ridley. Herman Moore's a guy that had almost 10,000 receiving yards, 23-month layoff for a wide receiver. I'm going to get Herman Moore's thoughts on Ridley here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he was good at Virginia, right? When the Florida State entered the ACC, he was one of those real good ones, along with, both Tiki and Rondé Barber, among some others. So Herman Moore coming up as well with Hacker. Have a lot of fun tonight.
Thanks, Rick.
Quick announcement. Remember, beginning next week, high school football returns. Hacker will have the high school show after the games on Friday night. But I do want you to know that for like the next 8 or 9 Fridays, I will be on from 3 until 6 on AM, okay, on 1010 on the AM. That's the 1010 AM app, and as well as the radio station. So it's a temporary move. We've done it for the last couple of years, and it'll be for about the next 8 or 9 Fridays or so, 3 to 6 on the AM. Folks, have a great weekend. I don't check the text line. Get me on Twitter, Ballou1010XL. Thank you to JJ LaSalva. My name is Rick Ballou. See you tomorrow at the Chili's, or the Chili cook-off at 11 o'clock, 11 to 4 at Sneakers out at the beach, and talk with you Monday at 6.
Five, four, three, come on! 2. Number 1 in the 904 1010XL.
Folks, it's finally here. The return of the Blue Crab Crab House. After a massive fire, they return and they're open Tuesday through Saturday, 4:30 to 10, Sunday noon to 9. As always, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas, $1 oysters on Wednesday. And as expected, the best crabs that you'll find throughout Jacksonville. Same ownership, same management. The Blue Crab Crab House off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
I want to make our backyard into a paradise. But where do I start?
A few people I know chose CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.